Phil Wilson. My talk is on the healing and spiritual benefits of far infrared energy. I wanted to talk about the benefits of far infrared energy, the benefits of saunas, of the Relax far infrared sauna, and I've got about 30 minutes to do this. And so I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Phil Wilson. I've been to the NewLife Expo for the last, since 1981, 82, when they had the first original Whole Life Expo. And then when Mark took over the the Whole Life Expo and called it the NewLife Expo in 88, 89, I was there. I rid massage tools. And now for the last 19 years, I've been promoting the Relax far infrared saunas at conferences. When I go to the NewLife Expo, we have miracles happen. I do a lot of professional expos as well. And usually we have, you can see that sauna right there and behind me underneath the pictures. That's the Relax far infrared sauna. And I'm going to talk about, I'm going to do the best I can to educate you about what far infrared energy is and why it's different. Now, I guess I didn't bring much with me. My assistant didn't do a good job. I'm my assistant, so that's the way the ball bounces. But there's a book by Dr. Sherry Rogers called Detoxify or Die, and she defined or spawned an industry on far infrared saunas. Dr. Sherry Rogers is an environmental medical doctor, and she dealt with people with multi-chemical sensitivities and all sorts of environmental problems. As a result of that, they came to her and she tried far infrared saunas on them and had miraculous discoveries. What she pointed out in her book, Detoxify or Die, which is published in 2002, she pointed out that the best way to detox heavy metals, mercury, lead, cadmium, arsenic, etc., from the body was through far infrared saunas. And the only way, she says, at that time to get heavy metals out of the body or to get plastics out of the body, the only way was far infrared saunas. So there were wooden infrared saunas back then, and that differs from the finished saunas. And Dr. Sherry Rogers called the infrared saunas or the far infrared saunas the superior saunas. They dealt with energy medicine. Now, far infrared light comes from the sun, as does ultraviolet light, as does visible light, and all the lights you can imagine, from microwave energy to gamma rays to X-rays. All this is emitted by the sun. The only light that we can see is the visible light. Obviously, that's why it's called visible light. The far infrared energy is what gives the plants the power to move and to bend, according to the author of The Fourth Phase of Water, Dr. Gerald Pollack. What's very interesting, in his book, Fourth Phase of Water, Dr. Gerald Pollack says that there's a gel-like substance between ice and water, the fourth phase. He talks about it in his books. There's tapes on YouTube as well. But one of his lab assistants discovered that when he accidentally shined a light, it increased this exclusion zone or easy water, which is the fourth phase of water. Now, what's very interesting about the fourth phase of water, it's pure water. Nothing can be dissolved into it. And so this is good and healthy to have. And the far infrared energy is the light that was more able to do this. And he says the far infrared light gives, you've all heard of this, it gives the plants the power to move and to bend, and this is through photosynthesis. That's just one aspect of far infrared light. Another aspect of far infrared light is that it penetrates 1 to 3/4 to 2 inches through your bodies. And what it does, it also penetrates through the sand 1 to 3/4 2 inches. And the turtles know that if they bury their eggs less than 2 inches below the sand, the far infrared energy will resonate with the water cells in the turtle eggs, and that will cause the heat. It will cause the turtle egg to heat up, and that will cause the little turtle embryo to grow into what do you call it, a turtle. Now, we all heard of ultraviolet light. When we put ultraviolet on our skin, it's going to get tan or sunburned. Incidentally, infrared saunas will always will always get rid of sunburn pain. I've had 3 different people in the last few years who have had sunburn pain and have gone in the relaxed sauna, and each of the 3 cases totally released the pain. And that's very interesting. I read something specifically, the scientific way they describe that. Don't remember it, but it undoes the damage caused by ultraviolet. Now, ultraviolet light, sun, it gives us vitamin D, and it does not go through the skin. You know, if you wear a shirt or it's not going to go through, and you're not going to get a tan. Far infrared does go through clothes. And in 7th grade science, you would think on the first day of class, they would say, we're going to talk about far infrared energy. It comes from the sun. It's a light. It's not heat, it's light, but it creates heat in the body by resonating with the water cells in your body. The far infrared light goes through clothes, as we all know. When we go out into the sun and we close our eyes and lay out in the sun with the sun hot, or stand in the sun, we can feel the deep penetrating warmth going through our clothes and heating us to. This is the essence of what far infrared saunas are able to do, and they have a lot more far infrared energy in them. You just don't get a good dose of far infrared energy from the sun itself. You get a little bit. That's why sunshine is one of the best things you could do for COVID, for any cold or flu. Sunshine is extremely important, as is pure, clean water. So pure sunlight is wonderful, although with what whoever is doing to the atmosphere, whatever they're doing, it's not, the sunlight is, it's, there's a lot of, the ozone layer has holes in it. So we're not getting as much pure far infrared light. We didn't need far infrared saunas because the light from the sun was sufficient to heal us and to help us. However, saunas have been used from antiquity. You have Indian sweat lodges in South America with the Amazon Indians. You have sweat lodges in the American Indians, and sweat lodges are great. I've done it at least 3 times. I love 4-hour sweat lodges. They're wonderful experiences. It's a communal event. Many people who do sweat lodges, who run sweat lodges, have relaxed saunas that they use, because it's not something you do every day. Is have a 4-hour sweat lodge, but relaxed saunas you can do every day, or any far infrared sauna. All infrared saunas are healthy for you. We have found, and I'll go into detail, why the relaxed sauna is stronger. For example, you all know about turmeric. Turmeric is a wonderful, it's the size of ginger a little bit, looks a little bit like ginger. They promote it a lot in India. It's part of the Ayurvedic medicine. It's what you dairy from. And the special active ingredient in turmeric, curcumin. So I give an analogy, describing that the more curcumin you have in your turmeric, the more effective it is. And people create formulas and they have more of the curcumin in it. It's like a little bit of turmeric, and then you also have curcumin. So when you go to a supplement shop and you buy vitamin C, or a health food store, you always inquire, or well, is this 1 gram of vitamin C? Is this a half a gram? Is it 100 milligrams? And it's funny, but when you look at far infrared saunas, people don't quite look at it that way. Anyway, going back to the history of saunas, Dr. Bill Akpinar wrote a book, and all this is on the website, relaxsaunas.com, relaxsaunas with an S.com. If you want specific information about some incredible reviews of the Relax Sauna, you go to relaxsaunas.com/superior. It's not case sensitive, relaxsaunas.com/superior. We are going to have a special at the NewLife Expo, August 9th, 2021. If you go to and decide after hearing my talk, this is maybe premature, but if we do have a special code the end of August, and it's NewLife 21A, NewLife 21A, and we're going to give $100 off a Relax Sauna. The Relax Sauna is a $2,000 sauna. It's not a $500 or $900 sauna. It's a $2,000 sauna. We sell it online for $1,400, and there's 50 shipping in the U.S. January 1st, it's going up to $1,500 plus 50 shipping. If you order a conference, it'll be $1,250 plus 50 shipping, $1,300. So you'll save $14. You'll save, it's normally $1,450. You save $150. Now, there was a review of the Relax Sauna on the internet. Very, very interesting review. But I will talk about that in a few minutes. I wanted to finish talking about the benefits of saunas. And Dr. Bill Akpinar, who is in Long Island, New York, he's in, there's 5 different names his practice is in. It's in Jamaica, it's in Douglasville, it's a couple, but it's a Center for Spiritual Healing in Long Island. His name is Dr. Bill Akpinar, and he's a Chinese medical doctor, and therefore he's also an acupuncturist. He's a Qigong master, and but he mainly focuses on helping people with cancer at his Center for Spiritual Healing. Sweating. Bathhouses. His book, infrared light beings. We are not just light beings, spiritual light beings. Have mind, but far infrared light shine a certain wavelength of far infrared energy, which is approximately 9.4 microns or 9,000 meters. To get a reference for this, red is about 7.79 microns or 789 nanometers. Violet is about 480 nanometers or 0.48 microns. So our vibration, the wavelength of our bodies is about 10 or 12 or 13, 14 times longer than the wavelength of light, and about 18 to 20 times longer than the wavelength of violet light. Wave is what we vibrate at. Water, on the other hand, vibrates at 8,000 nanometers, and we vibrate 400 nanometers, which is the same as 9.4 microns, and in terms of water, 8 microns. Now, your far infrared saunas generally generate a frequency of 2 to 25 or 2 to 50. They're all different. And the reason, I think, is mainly on those infrared saunas that do from 2 microns to 25 microns. Now, there's, I really haven't talked about the benefits of what far infrared does, and I will say that now before I go for long. And we have 800 testimonies on YouTube of what the Relax Sauna has done for people. I've been demonstrating Relax Sauna for 19 years at about 250 professional doctor conferences and health professionals. and at about 150 to 200 NewLife Expo and conferences like the one, this is a virtual expo of that. And when we have four saunas there, put people in for 7-10 minutes, and they sit in front of, they sit in the sauna, which you see behind me, and their head sticks out or your head can stick in. The three things they need to teach you in 7th grade is that far infrared is a light, and it goes through clothes. It's a light. It goes 100 miles a minute, and it's a light. And even though it's invisible light, it is still reflected by a mirror. So the three principles of far light that they do not teach you in 7th grade science, and I don't understand why, but that's the way the planet is. So you see in this sauna of me that there's a you don't see the two radiators in the front. Generate blue in the middle or at the end of the tent, and then hits the silver on the outside and bounces back. Because it's a light, it goes 186,000 miles per second approximately, and therefore it's reflected back and forth, back and forth. You can't have absolute zero, you can't have absolute 100 degrees. So if it's 170.9 degrees, you are going to reflect. And so if you were a snake who can see far infrared light, you would see there's a very, very bright visible light box. And the brightness in the Relax Sauna is about 4 to 10 times stronger than any other in sauna. That's when what I'll go into in terms of the man who gave the review on reddit.com. Again, there is a $2,000 sauna. It's not a $200, $500, or $900 sauna, and we sell it for $1,400. So this man done a lot on Reddit, and then he posted on reddit.com on far infrared saunas, and he found out, wow. Then he bought a $200 Amazon sauna test to see if it could do what the research said it could. It didn't. It raised core temperature 0.5 degrees, and the heart rate variability test totally failed with the research on far infrared saunas. And there's at least 60 articles, 60 publications, probably hundreds of publications on the benefit of far infrared energy. The far infrared energy in the Relax Sauna generates a specific frequency. We talked about the Relax Sauna scientists 10 years to figure out how to filter out the near infrared energy that was less than 4 microns and more than 14 microns. And so they got 10 years. It took them to get the aha to what they called a hot springs kind of energy. They were requested by a Japanese company, can you create hot springs energy? Well, we'll see what you can do out of electricity, and they did. It took them 10 years to use semiconductor chips. The Relax Sauna is the only sauna using semiconductor chips. If you go to relaxsaunas.com, again, you'll see a lot of links to a 40-page, a 28-page, and a 24-page booklet that you can look at and see what the Relax Sauna has done. You'll see many testimonies on Lyme disease. I just listened to Kat James' talk. She was excellent. I was very impressed and inspired by her. She herself loves it. There are many other health professionals. Dr. Paul Anderson, he teaches at Bastyr Naturopathic College and the cancer clinic, and he uses the Relax Sauna in IV therapy, and it can increase core temperature 4.2 degrees. The man who was doing the Reddit.com study that I took about a minute ago, he was very disappointed in the $200 Amazon sauna. He bought a $500 Amazon sauna, reputed to be a great review, everything. And like I said, all infrared saunas, all far infrared saunas are great. He found this, he got the same results. He was able to increase core temperature 0.5 degree only, and the heart rate variable tests failed. He then noticed that the Relax Sauna was 1,500 watts, and he was looking at a $900 sauna, but for reasons that he didn't quite explain, he decided to try the Relax Sauna. It looked really impressive because we use semiconductor chips, and the $900 saunas use the same carbon panel technologies they use in China that are generic that they sell to all the companies. And from what I understand, only generates 30% infrared energy and are good, but they can't do with the Relax Sauna. You know, it's like the debate when they said, you're no Jack Kennedy. And so we say the same thing, you're no Relax Sauna. Anyway, the man from Reddit.com bought a Relax Sauna. I don't even know him. I've never met him. I've never talked to him. He was astounded that the Relax Sauna increased core temperature 3.2 degrees, 3.2 degrees in 25 minutes. Out. And what Hippocrates talked about, find me a way to create sweat or fever, and I will cure disease. So the heart variability test that he performed, and it exceeded what the research said. And again, my explanation for that is that even the great saunas that they've done research between 2 and 25, and even though they generate about 50%, maybe 55, 60% far infrared ray energy, they do not generate 98% far infrared energy between 4 and 14 microns. And that's why the Relax Sauna seems to be more effective. That's why we get results. That way, what you experience with the NewLife Expo and you get in the Relax Sauna, you experience joy. You experience joy, you experience fulfillment. There was a lady in mental health about 5 years ago. She has a $6,000 wooden sauna. She and her husband have had for about 5-6 years. She got in the Relax Sauna in her bathing suit, did a 30-minute sweat, back an hour later, and said, Phil, after 8 to 10 minutes in the Relax Sauna, I experienced the deepest, profound relation I've ever experienced in my life. And I thought she was going to say in the other sauna, but she said in her life. And we get over and over and over again when we go to spiritual conferences. One lady at a conference for psychology and EFT, that conference about, and that was in British Columbia. She said that there was instant something in her heart chakra and it opened up, and she said, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I cannot believe how good it makes me feel. And my health problem, my pain went away also in my back. We've had people have back pain, arthritis, back pain from a 12 and go down to a 0 in 15 minutes. Usually we do 7 to 10 minute sessions at conferences, 5 to 7 sessions. Lyme disease and mold detoxing. It's amazing what people have had. We've got 17 people who've had Lyme disease saying to relax helped tremendously. A lady from Boston at the Lyme conference we went to said she had neuropathy because of Lyme disease for 2.5, and she got in the Relax Sauna, and in 12 minutes she had tingling, and which is neuropathy when you have no feeling. And she had a portal sauna that she had in her house, and she'd used it a dozen times and never experienced a relief from her neuropathy. We get a lot of results. So what does far infrared energy do? Okay, it does one thing. It resonates with the water molecules in your body. It penetrates 1.25 to 2 inches and then talks to its neighbor. So the whole body gets it. It penetrates very deeply. Now the water cells will start vibrating. And that's what the resonating. It's the same vibration. It's like a love bond between the energy coming out of the Relax Sauna radiators and the water molecules. It starts to get resonating and vibrating. If you have 100 people in a small room dancing, it's going to get hot, really, really hot. So the bodies get hot, and that's going to mobilize, number one, mobilize the immune system, get the white blood cells, get the lymphatic system moving. That's going to detoxify you of heavy metals, of chlorine, dioxins, plastics, pesticides, glyphosate, and all the stuff that doesn't belong in your body. When I go in the Relax Sauna, and many others attest to, when they meditate, it gets them to their sweet spot within about half the time. The Relax Sauna basically activates the parasympathetic nervous system, gets you out of flight or fight mode because of the increase in temperature. It activates the parasympathetic system. Close to. This is my observation. I don't have any scientific proof necessarily, but far infrared saunas do this, do activate the parasympathetic nervous system. They get you in this relaxed position. The nervous caffeine energy is not there. And then the mitochondria start ATP and nitric oxide, and you feel revitalized. And so many people say, I don't understand it. I feel so relaxed, and at the same time, I feel energized or revitalized. It's really relating. Now, the second thing it does, I just mentioned the third and fourth things that far infrared energy does when it resonates with the water molecule in the body and causes the heat. It improves circulation and microcirculation tremendously. This is why
sorry to interrupt. Will, so do you like to take on some questions, if there are any, because we got like 8 minutes for the next speaker to come into this room.
Yeah, I take on questions. Let me 1 or 2 more minutes to finish my train of thought.
Yeah, sure, you can.
And then I'll let you know in 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay.
But thank you. It's a good idea. So you have 4 things it does. It mobilizes the lymphatic system, increases the microcirculation, and this gets rid of tissue. I've got a scar here that's not there. I don't have any not vaccine, smallpox vaccine when I was a little kid. That's not there anymore. And people have told us that their scar tissue after 2 weeks went away. Usually it takes a lot longer, but it also, the pain gets rid of inflammation and pain. That's crucial, and that's by the increase in microcirculation. It's like the blood cells get smaller because the water cells bite, and the angle between the hydrogen and the water, that angle gets smaller. So therefore, the water cells get smaller, cells get smaller. That's why you have an increase in circulation, and that's what it does well. So those are the 4 things that it does, and you can go to the testimonies on our website or on YouTube to see a whole lot more. But the spiritual joy and the euphoria, that's what, hands down, no other sauna can do that. That's because of the intense, concentrated amount of far infrared energy, and the way you measure the effectiveness of the Relax Sauna. I say it's 98% pure, but the way you measure this is by the increase in body temperature that Hippocrates so greatly talked about. Gopi, I'm ready. I can answer questions.
I mean, yeah. Oh, person. Actually, you can unmute yourself.
Just start talking.
Yeah.
Hello? You hear me?
Hi, Edward. Yes.
Okay, believe it or not, I have your that unit at home, but I haven't opened it yet. I got it a couple of years ago, but I'm going to open it now, and I'm going to start using it. But I have to know something. You mentioned a couple of things. I brought it to you at the NewLife Expo a couple of years ago. I think it was 2010, actually, and it was sent to my house. But it's out. I just haven't plugged it in. I haven't set it up. But about getting some real feedback from you. Do you
Yes,
hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, the question I have is this. You said you can put your head inside of the unit. What is it? Does it do anything for the brain?
Even if you don't put your sinus in 8 minutes, if you put your head inside, it'll clear up sinuses in 2 minutes. You see, the blood goes through the body, and so it has an effect on the blood, and the blood goes to the brain. So even if with your head out, you're still getting it in your brain, in your head. Yes. Well, again, the far infrared energy sort of bypasses the kidney by you detox through the skin and through the sweat, and so it's always no matter what organ of the body, it's going to cleanse and purify. You know how washing machines work? The water from the washing machine, even though it's solid clothes, the water penetrates and cleanses every fiber of the clothes. Right. The healing light through your and cleanses every cell of your body. Like, for example, it feels like your grandma's giving you a big loving hug. It feels like you're basking in love. And when basking in divine love, every cell of your body is cleansed and purified, and you can feel all the tingling and all the energy. Like, this is what happened when I first out of body back in 1970 and after that. when I meditate. I go to this and you can hear these sounds and feel the cackling of every cell in your body. And the relaxed sauna is like a physical manifestation of basking in divine love coming out of electricity.
Oh,
That's how I see it.
Good. The other thing is you talked about the light body. Now, I know about the light body because I read about it in the Bible.
Yes.
Jesus had it, and he demonstrated it. The thing is, we are working on the light body in a spiritual way. Now, will this help enhance?
Experience. That's why part of this title is called the spiritual sauna. We have a website, like the NewLife, relaxsaunas.life. Okay, that
Wait,
talks about.
Say that
Yeah.
again.
Just relaxsaunas.com
Relax.
relaxsaunas with an s.com/NewLife. Hi, Julian.
Yeah.
I think Julian, one testimony is from Julian.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I have a testimony from Kat James also on our many YouTube. Go ahead, Edward.
Okay. So this actually detoxes the body, and it gets rid of a lot of garbage that we have inside of our bodies that we don't even know. It just doesn't do us any good because it really increases, it speeds up the aging of the body. Actually, I've been through things over the years, and I've been through some healings, and I've been through 3 healings with Dr. Tedges, and I had a miracle healing. And, I was heading for the hospital in an ambulance. Before I went, I texted him, because I'm in his group, his Synergy group. And I had texted him, and he did a healing on me. But I got actually, I was put into the emergency. They put a catheter in me. The next day, they went to the EU. They took me out one more day. I was in the hospital for 7 days. Before I got out, and a doctor came up to me. She said, "You're," and he prayed for me. He told me, this is what he told me after we talked. He said, "I invoke Jesus." And okay, and he saw them healing me, and I know it's true because this was the 3rd healing he did for me. This was the major. I died. This is how bad it was.
This is great, Edward, and I'm really excited about that. The radiates a very pure, spiritual, loving light, far infrared energy between 4 and 14 microns, and it gets through the dross.
One more question, last question. How often do you use it safely?
Yes.
How often?
I personally use it 20 minutes morning. Sometimes I drink about 12 ounces of water, 8 to 12 ounces of water before I go in. I go in, I do a 20-minute sweat, and then at that, sometimes I take a shower, drink more water, and then I do another 20-minute sweat. But that's not what the average person does. They just do one 20-minute sweat. I usually do it for 7 to 10 minutes at night before I go to bed. A lot of people, however, just do it 20 minutes at night before they go to bed and have a great sweat, take a shower and go to sleep. Don't I just for 7 to 10 minutes at night? You can do 7 to 10 minutes. You can have, if it gets too hot, if Relax Sauna problems gets too hot, and we have a sophisticated temperature control device that takes care of that, we call it a zipper. You just unzip the zipper and out, light keeps on shining off the tent. So you can use it 7 to 10 minutes with it half open, with your clothes on, and still get a lot of benefit. Use it for 10 to 10 minutes with your clothes on, and then if it feels so good, you can say, I'm taking my clothes off and doing it 20 minutes. I always put a towel on top of it, and then I drape another towel over the chair. So I always have 2 towels on the chair, and that they take off. So
you look good. I've seen you at the expo, and you look younger actually than when I saw you. So you're
3 now. I turned 3 last month.
I'm actually 10. I'm 10 years older than you.
You look good. You look good.
Thank you.
70 is the new 40. I discovered 3 years ago.
Right.
I feel about 40. I really, and the sauna really helps me a lot.
Well, that's great to hear. I'm going to start using it because I'm not going to sit there and use it after I hear all this. I'd be stupid.
My,
not
my,
to
my
use it.
phone number is 626-200-8454. That's my cell phone, 626-200-8454. You or anyone else who has is free to call me.
Okay.
Relaxsaunas.com. The code for August is NewLife 21A, and you save $150 for those that didn't getting it.
New Life what? 24A? 24A?
21A.
21A.
New
How
Life.
much?
Right now it's $14.50 online, $150 off gives it $1,300, including the shipping.
1,300.
The next year the price will be up $15.50 in January, but right now it's $14.50, including.
Is that because of the inflation that's coming on?
We got a big price increase because of the shipping.
No,
And so
I got it.
we decided just to wait till January 1st. So I'm just eating the bullet on that.
Thank you.
Robert Young is here now, and he also likes the Relax Sauna. So we've had 3 of the people in the room have given us nice testimonies on the. Hi, Robert. Robert is great. He's one of the, I think one of the greatest, it was more about the human being than almost anyone on the planet. And I have a great deal of respect for him.
Oh,
So yes, thank you, Robert.
Philip, that's very kind of you. You know, I have to say that I like to relax and I like the sauna. So why not relax in the Relax Sauna?
Always come up with things like that. He called it the real sauna because it's real, because it really works.
Yeah, it really works. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. If you like to relax and you like to sauna, then I highly recommend a real sauna because it's really real. It's called the Relax Sauna
Now,
or the real sauna.
right. Now, it's interesting because about 7 years ago, I was talking to a lady after she got out of the sauna at a conference. I said, how do you feel? And she said, relaxed. And then the next lady, 7-10 minutes later, got out of the sauna. How do you feel? Relaxed. And then another lady came out, another 7-10 minutes later. How do you feel? Relaxed. And I said, I get it. I get it. I knew why I was relaxed until that moment. You know, you just don't notice things. Like you don't realize that.
I mean,
moment. Yeah.
How many times do you hear that, right?
Yeah.
So, somebody says, what can I do if I can't physically jog or run or lift weights? What can I do? And I said, I would recommend a infrared sauna, and I would stay in it as long as 10 minutes once you begin sweating. So you should sweat about 10 minutes, and that's the best way to clear the interstitial fluids via the pores by sweating. Sweating shouldn't be blocked with perspirants. I mean, you should allow the sweat to come. If you don't like the smell, then that's something that you're eating or drinking, and you ought to check that because and those are called the interstitial fluids. So when you're sweating interstitial fluid, and so that the pH of that you can test it should be at 8.4. So if you really want to stay healthy and stay in a state where generate, that environment is 8.4. Now I know a lot of you have heard me talk pH as it relates to pH. Well, that's constant, generally running around 7.365 to 7.4. But the bottom line is, what does the blood do with its waste? It pushes it out into the interstitium. So the interstitium is the freeway of surround every cell of the human body. And if you don't manage that, then you're really not taking good care of your health. And one of the things that you can do to manage that, as well as to relax, is you can take an infrared sauna in the Relax Sauna, which is the real sauna, that will open up the pores and allow these fluids to come out rather than stay in. Because if they stay in, they go to the connective and fatty tissues.